Hi and welcome back to my channel. So basically, the NHS, which is the National Health Service in the UK, is currently going through so many struggles. It's currently going through its worst period ever in the history since the NHS was founded over 70 years ago. So, in case you're not aware, there's been staff resigning and leaving. Over 44,000 nurses alone have left. Over 2,000 midwives have left. Doctors are leaving. Carers are leaving. Everybody is literally just leaving because the stress levels are at the highest possible. And look, while these things are all negative, they also have the advantages that they bring, because every bad situation is going to bring some sort of an opportunity depending on which perspective you are looking at it from. So I'm going to be telling you in this video some recent changes that you may be interested in. If you're already in the UK, even if you're out of the UK, it doesn't matter. You definitely want to hear what I've got to say here, because you're going to be affected positively or negatively, but it's going to be positively, basically. So there's a lot of good news for those of us that are nurses, carers, doctors within healthcare. So that's why I'm very excited about this particular piece of news. So if you're new to the channel, it's such a pleasure to have you. If you're a returning subscriber, it's such a privilege that you return every time to watch these videos. I appreciate your time, because I know you could be doing better things, but obviously this is also something very good because it's part of your career progression. So let's get to the point. So basically, NHS hospitals, are managed by bureaucrats, basically. Most of these very senior positions, these people are earning in excess of £150,000, 200,000, 300,000, like they're earning ridiculous amounts of money. And the interesting thing is that these people don't necessarily have any healthcare experience whatsoever. And when we talk about people, there are thousands of them that are kind of managing or micromanaging the NHS, if I can call it that way. So current British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has announced that he wants drastic and radical change for the NHS, which I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so ready for the change, because look, whatever change is coming is going to be good for you. So there's going to be more opportunities for career growth for those of us that are nurses, obviously, because we're doing the work. We know where it hurts. We know the change. You know what I mean? If you're a nurse or you're a carer or a doctor, you're working clinically with patients, you have inside knowledge, you have first-hand knowledge of the best things that can be done, not only to improve the quality of patient care, but also to improve the well-being of the staff. But the thing is, because you and I are not in those top positions, you and I are not the ones making those decisions, people at the top are unable to make the right decisions for us, because they don't know what we're going through, do they? They've never been nurses, never been clinical, have no idea, and they just come from nowhere. Boom, this is what you have to do. And it's all tick boxes. It's all about target. It's all about, so the Prime Minister has said he wants this to end. He's going to stop all of this, and literally give the knife and the cake to the people who deserve it, and to the people who are actually doing the work, and that is you and I. So basically what's going to happen, so NHS England, they kind of manage the NHS, as well as the Department of Health. They kind of manage the NHS as well. They're going to be sacking so many of those managers. So basically what they've said is the NHS England alone has over 6,500 people employed, that the Prime Minister has said, look, all those people don't need to be there. So he's urged his ministers, he's told the Minister of Health and his team to sack at least half of those people. So at least half of those people are going to be sacked, because they're saying that they're earning very high salaries, and nobody's really understanding why they're earning all of that money, why nurses and carers are struggling, and they're unable to make effective decisions within healthcare. So half of them are going to be sacked. Obviously, it's not good news for them, but for you and I, look, we need the right people in healthcare. You need people who know where the shoe hurts, that can make those decisions. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that the Department for Health has, guess what, 50,000 staff, 50,000 staff that are being paid £2.8 billion, £2.8 billion for 50,000 staff, basically to micromanage the NHS as well. So the Prime Minister has said these people need to be sacked, because he wants to give control to the actual NHS hospitals, which means that if you're working for the NHS, they want to give control to the actual people in the hospital, rather than to some bureaucrat somewhere in some office who's got absolutely no idea what's going on. And look, let me tell you why this is very good. This means that when it comes to career progression, these are more opportunities for people that actually have the experience and know what they're doing. And look, in case you're wondering who I am, my name is Melvis. I'm an advanced nurse practitioner. I work for the NHS in England as an advanced nurse practitioner. Something that I'm particularly passionate about on this channel, which if this is your first time coming here, I hope you've subscribed by now, because look, I'm all about career progression, the best opportunities in the UK, whether it's working, whether it's career progression, whether it's earning more money online, whether it's having a side business so you can make more money and eventually retire early and gain your independence. Because look, this whole thing about career progression is very good, but there's the next level to it. Once you've progressed, you've gotten to those senior positions, you need to start your own side business, my dear, because that's the get out of jail card that you're going to have if you want to retire early. Because when it comes to working 9 to 5 or 12-hour shifts, being paid only for the hours that you've worked, it is difficult to retire on that, because because you're only paid for your time. You're basically trading time for money. I don't like to use this word, but I feel like I got no choice. So you want to be thinking about other opportunities, and that's what I'm all about. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe, because like I say, I'm all about the best opportunities in the UK for you and I want to retire by the time I'm 40. So any opportunity that I see, any good news that is anywhere, apprenticeships, career progression opportunities, side hustles, side businesses, online opportunities, websites that can pay you up to $5,000 a month, look, that's what the channel is all about. You can check the other videos that I've done. There's loads of information, and like I say, if you've got any questions, just drop them in the comment section. I'm always going to join you in there. Sometimes, obviously, if I'm at work, I'm going to be very busy. But when I have that time, I do come to the comment section to make sure that I'm answering questions that you're asking. So please, if you're keen on getting my newsletter, by the way, just make sure that you join my newsletter. I'm going to leave the link in the comment section so that you can join. And better still, if you want that one-to-one support from me, then you need to join my private coaching program, because that's where I support one-to-one. We get to know each other. We get to talk. We get to actually answer your questions, because look, life in this country can be so sweet if you know your way around. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not all a bitter relationship, but it can be very, very sweet and succulent. But you need to be very smart. You know what I mean? You need to be very smart. You need to be ahead of the game. That's what I'm saying. So you're welcome to the channel, basically. So this news from the Prime Minister is something that I'm really excited about, because it's what the NHS truly, utterly, and really needs: a drastic, dramatic change. Because if you're working in A&E, for example, and look, this is not something that I'm doing just out of theory. This is an experience that I've had. I've worked in A&E as a newly qualified nurse. Let me tell you something. A&Es have a 4-hour target, which means that by the time a patient goes into A&E, they should be out, to a ward, to a bed or home within 4 hours. On paper, that looks very good, very efficient, very thorough. That is really how hospitals are assessed in terms of what's the best hospital, what's the worst hospital. It's all those targets that these managers have set. And the hard work sometimes for the clinical staff like you and I kind of goes unnoticed most of the times. If you're working in A&E, it can be very challenging, because sometimes there are no beds on the ward. Sometimes you have patients who come in and they're, critically unwell. And as a clinical staff, you're focusing on that. I can tell you that if somebody is coming in and whether they're bleeding from a leg or whatever is going on, these managers that are all into these targets, all they care about is, can you get the patient out of A&E to wherever you want to get them to, because they're going to breach, and that's going to look bad. But look, as a clinical staff, you're thinking about the well-being of your patient. You're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't care whether it's 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours. I just want a patient to be okay. I just want to deliver the best care that I can. So basically, they're trying to get rid of this system of only having targets, on paper, without looking at the real life scenario, real life situation. I know hospitals that work incredibly hard, that put in their all. Staff are so dedicated, committed, but because of these targets, again, those hospitals are being punished constantly. And let me tell you, currently as it stands, if you're a hospital and you don't meet those targets, you're going to get punished. For example, funding, money gets taken off you because you haven't been meeting the targets. And if you're meeting those targets according to the system, you're going to have more money given to you, and that's how it works. So sometimes, rather than look at it like, why is this hospital struggling? Why aren't they meeting the targets? What are they struggling with? Don't you think they need more money? I think they do, but that's not really what happens in practice. And I think that, again, as more healthcare professionals are going to take charge, take control of these positions, there's going to be change. So if you're ever interested in career progression as a nurse, as a carer, you're a doctor, look, this is the time. Get yourself ready. Make sure that you have a career plan. Make sure that you're getting that pathway that you're interested in. You're ready. You're getting yourself set. And if you're part of my private coaching program, this is what we're working on, making sure that you're ready for opportunities when they drop. Because if you're hanging around thinking, oh my God, what should I do? I'm going to think tomorrow, I'm going to start next year. It doesn't help. Because when opportunities like this come up, the people who are ready are going to get in there. And when we talk about career progression in this context, we mean good positions. We mean really senior positions. So yes, we all need to start from somewhere. Like me, before becoming a nurse practitioner, I was a band one carer, 10 years ago in the UK while I was studying, as an international student, studying my nursing. So we all need to start from somewhere. And look, let me tell you, where you start is not necessarily where you're going to end. So you need to make sure you keep striving for the top. Keep believing that you're capable. Keep believing, most importantly, that you're worthy. And again, join my newsletter below, because look, when I have the best opportunities, when I'm doing a free live session, or I'm just having any offers about my membership program or anything like that, you're going to be the first to be notified. And also, I'll make sure that you don't miss any important updates that are happening in the UK, because look, I'm all about making your life in the UK the best. Check out other videos that I've done about various career pathways, how to make money online, various side hustles, because look, that's what is going to be your get out of jail card from all this, hassle of working and this, because it's not easy. That's the truth. We appreciate the fact that we've got a job. We love what we do, but truth be told, it is not easy. So you need to be planning ahead of time. How old do you want to be when you retire? Do you want to be 70, 80, 90? Do you want to be on a Zimmer frame? It's all up to you. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you.